All right, welcome to Straight Pool Sunday. This is November 24th, 2019. Um, so I'm not going to do a whole lot of talking during this video. My game is definitely picking up. The main issues that I have are some of the long shots. I just need to practice those a little bit more. And the occasional leave. So I am going to talk a little bit about the strategy in here so that I can pass along what I know about straight pool. There are two big things to deal with in the game of straight pool. One is problem balls, and I'll point those out when they come up. And the second thing is there's patterns that evolve in straight pool, and those patterns are what define how well you do. I'm going to point some of those out, and a big thing that you want to avoid is you want to avoid getting stuck underneath the rack. If you're down by this bottom rail, that means that you're going to be shooting everything up the table the long way. You really don't want to do that. You want to get down there, get whatever's under there cleaned out, and then move on. So here, I just got kind of a bad break. I ran into the 10 and it just froze the cue ball, and I tried to cut the 9 in the side. Tough cut, almost make it, but I scratch, so it doesn't matter. So in this rack, there's one of those patterns is formed. You can see the 6, the 9, and the 14 form a straight line. And if the 2 and the 11 are gone, those balls get a clear shot at the bottom right pocket. So one of the things you want to do, the 2, the 11, and the 12 are your problem balls in this rack. Those are the ones you want to work on getting to. Now the 12 actually works out pretty well as a break shot too. You'll also notice that there is no break shot at that point, and there's still really not a great one here. The 12 is a possible break. The 8, if you get the right angle on it, you can cue almost over against the rail. But now we've got a pretty open table. We should get out on this table. Now I'm leaving the 11 because it's a potential break for me. It's not a good break, but it's about as good as anything else on the table. So I'm leaving it, and I'm going to come back around and figure out my break after I clear up the top of the table. So I want to get the top of the table cleared out while I've got plenty of balls to get back down and get position on at the top or at the bottom. Top as you're looking at it. But it's me, and I jammed the 10 too hard. Okay, so on this rack, you see the 10 and the 12 formed a problem, but the 3's right next to them to use the breakout. The 7 ball causes a problem with the 11, so I want to get rid of it right away. I play for the 7. I don't get it. I don't think. Did I get it here? Yeah, I guess I did. Looks like I'm going to shoot at it. Nope, I did not get it. So I'm shooting at 15 because the 15 was blocking the 14 and the 1. And when you got two balls close together like the 1 and the 14, you can use them to create break shots if you don't have one, and I don't have one. So Um, now I'm going to start positioning to try to break out the 10 and the 12. And I go a little bit too far. I'm on the wrong side of the 3. So we'll just use that 5 and the 8 and go get back on it the way I want it. Oh wait, forgot the 4 ball was down there. I'll use the 4 ball to get back on it. Now I've got a good angle to break it out. It's a little tougher shot than I wanted, but it's an easy enough break. So from here, the 11 ball is really the only break shot on the table right now. 6 ball could be used, but the 11 is much better. Again, leave the cue ball next to the long rail so that you get a good angle coming off the 11 into the rack. And I need to get that 7 ball out of there so that I can stay, once the 7 ball is taken care of, just bump the 11 a little, but once the 7 is taken care of, then I don't have to get near the 11 again. Oh no, I screwed up and I pushed it out away from the rack. Now it's no longer a break ball, and I just took my other 2 breaks out. So this is a problem. So at this point, I either have to manufacture a break out of the 14 and the 1, or I've got to use that 5 ball at the side as my break shot. It's not my favorite break, but it works. So I'm not going to be able to manufacture a break from here. So I'm going to have to just play for the 5 in the side and come off the 5 to break it. Make the 11, make the 8 or the 1 in the corner, and come off the 1 to the other side of the 5. This is the plan here. But it's me, and I hang the 11. Okay, so we're starting mid-rack this time. So I'm going to want to take care of the 3 balls down at the bottom of the table first. Now I kind of sort of have a break shot with the 10 ball. I can shoot the 15 in the corner. It's on the right now, the top right of your screen. I can shoot the 15 in there and stop the cue ball for the 10. But whenever you have 2 balls together, like that 11 and that 13, if you can get the angle, like I did, you can make a break shot. And this is called manufacturing a break shot. I'm going to make the 11. I'm just going to bump the 13 out to turn it into a break shot. And unfortunately, I'm a little far. I'm too short for this shot, so here comes the bridge. And I make the long rail bank. That's amazing. I miss that shot about 50% of the time. And an absolutely perfect place to break from. This is the ideal break from the side. Could not have done that any better. I hit that a little bit hard, but it's the 2 ball is going to make it really easy to get back down to the end of the table where I need to be. Didn't mean to bump the 15, but hey, I don't think I could have avoided it, so there it is. And again, you see that line of balls is formed, the 11, the 9, the 5, and the 6. That happens quite often because of the way the rack is. So if I can clear out the balls underneath, then great. By the way, sorry about the shakiness there. I bumped the power cord, and I ended up having to move the power cord because I kept doing that and it was wobbling the camera. So anyhow, I'm going to take care of the balls under the rack and then move back up above the rack and work from there for the rest of the rack. Now the goal when you have a cluster like this, it's not really that perfect straight line that you like to see. The goal here is to pick off the edges. So I want to pick off the 6 ball and the 4 ball, and I'm going to use the ones that are loose up there, the 3, the 1, and the 7, to get position on those and pick them off. And hopefully get a break shot out of it. So I'm going to use these. I'm going to try to line up. I think the right thing to do here is to try to line up above the 4, almost straight up and down the table from it, so that the cue runs into the center of the rack when you make the 4. But I missed the 1, so much for that thought. So good break shot there. Again, you see the line of balls form, the 11, the 15, the 4, and the 6. So if I can get the 8, 9, and 10 out of the way, then I can just shoot those straight in the pocket on the right. It's a little bit of a weird place because I had to hit the 8 to get there. But you can see I've now cleared the way for the 4 and the 6. And my thought now is about how do I create a break shot, because there's no break shot on the table. So I'm going to use these other balls to position to try to create a break. So on that last shot, not the 2 ball, but the 12 before it, I probably should have run up the table and taken care of that 5 while I was up there. But I wanted to get this line open. I can use the 14 to come back down the table and set something up. Missed it so bad I made it in the wrong pocket. Okay, new rack. Starting in the middle on this one. Again, you see my line of balls is formed. I've got the 3 and the 15 to worry about to clear it out. And right now I've got a couple of good shots. I can take either the 11 or the 13 to break open the rack. I'm going to take the 11 and just split the rack up a little bit, and now there's no more problems on the table. I've got the 13 in a perfect break position. I can use the 14 or the 4 as a key ball to get on the 13. The 6 needs to get out of the way. I need to get the 6 out of the way. It looks a little tight in the camera angle, but it's clear. I can shoot that. So now I have set myself up. The 14 is going to be my key ball, and the 13 is my break ball. Just need to run the other ones off, but I had to take the 14, so now the 3 ball is my key ball. cue ball being the ball before the break. It's the one you use to set up for the break shot. So 5 and then the 2. I kind of don't like this angle, but I mean, it's doable. I don't like this angle. I'm on the wrong side of the 2. So I end up drawing back to get my shot on the 3. Now I'm perfect. I'm going to come off the 3 off the rail, come out for the break shot with 13. A little bit of spin to hold it up. Now the only thing wrong with this break is that I can't reach it. So I'm going to have to use a bridge. So this break shot is pretty much exactly what you want. You don't want the huge break. You don't want to bang the balls around. What you want to do is split out, you know, a third to a half the rack and get the cue ball out to the center of the table where you're going to have the best odds of having a follow-on shot. So this worked out really, really well. I am going to have to break the bunch up in the middle, but I've got plenty of balls to do that with. And I've got plenty of open shots. If I can get the 10 ball out of there, the 6 and the 1 are both cleaned into the corner, and I can use the 14 to get into the rack. So now I'm just going to use a little follow to get down to the rail, down to the end of the rail on this 10. This one's a little bit touchy because I can't come up too far or I'll get blocked by the 14 or the 1. And I actually hit it too hard, but that's okay. The 10's fairly close to the rail. I can kick off the rail, make the 10. And I'll get a leave on the 3 if I do. So now if I stop it on the 3, I've got a shot on the 14. Now I'm starting to think about how I'm going to break this rack up. So if I get the right angle on the 6, I can draw up into the rack. But alas, it's not meant to be. So now I can roll forward and try to get the cut shot on the 1 to get into the rack. Try to roll the cue as close to the end rail as I can without getting into it. Don't know what I was thinking there. I really shouldn't have rolled that forward. I didn't. Now I'm almost straight in on the 1. And I don't cheat it enough, and I get caught by the corner pocket. Now the only thing I've got is that 9 in the side, and you see me call it there. I don't know how I'm going to break this out, so I'm going to run across and try to get back into the rack. Almost missed the 9 because I hit it so hard, but I get the 5 out of there, and the 5's a break shot. So I'm now in good shape again. I just need to make this 5. And I'm being real careful. You see me resetting there. Make the 5, the rack spreads out. Biggest issue with this now is there is no break shot. The 8's potentially a break shot, and the 12's potentially a break shot. So I could take the 12 here, but then I'd have to take the 8 and I'd have no break shot. I could take the 11, try to run up for the 7, then the 12, This was probably a mistake. That was probably the mistake of the rack here. That's taking the 8 ball out. I think the 8 was probably a better break than what I chose. I chose that side break with the 12, which I don't really think is a great break. The 8's a little iffy, but it's still better than that 12. That was probably the shot that causes this run to come to an end. So here I'm going to try to get on the other side of the 12 to set up a break shot, and I get just on the other side of the 12. So I can't just run off the 12 directly into the rack. Now I have to pull off some wizardry. Alright, so here we go. Well, I got to the rack, but not much reward. I mean, there's not much there. There are only 2 shots that are there. Well, there's 3 shots that are there. One is to cut the 14 all the way up the table. Very tough shot. That 14's frozen to the rail. I can try and bank the 14 back, but that leaves me nothing if I make it. And the 6 has got half the pocket. And the other one is the 6 all the way up in the corner, which is what I'm going to try. I am desperately looking in this rack to see if I can find anything that might be wired to a corner that I can kick into or hit somehow. There isn't. And I missed by 3 diamonds. Okay, good break here. I've got the line of balls going, the 10, the 12, the 15, and the 8. Plenty of stuff to use to position. What I need to do is I need to get on the 1 so I can roll up for the 9. Make the 9, get on the 14, and then get out from there. 6 ball is perfectly positioned to get me on the 1, so we'll take that next. Hit it too hard. Don't like my angle at all, but that's fine. I've got plenty of balls to use to get position on that 1. That's really the whole game here right now, is get on this 1 to allow me to get down on that 9. Once the 9 and the 8 are out of the way, this rack is wide open. Okay, I get a little bump on the 11 there, that's fine. I need to get that 11 out of the way now. It's blocking the pocket for all sorts of stuff. Oh, and that worked out perfect. I got the 12 into a break position. I need to clear out the balls around the 12 so I don't have to run any risk of running into it. So I'll get the 10 and then the 8 and then the 14 and then the 12 is all mine with the 4 as a key ball to set up the break shot. It's all looking really good right now. The only thing that could really screw me up is a bad lead. Well, or missing the shot, which I've been known to do a time or 2, right? Oh my god, that forehead. Okay, we get the 14 out of there. We got plenty of balls to position back up. Take the easy lead on the 3. All right, so choice here: the 2 or the 1. Well, the 1's probably the easier of the 2 shots, but the 2 can be used to set me up for the 1, and I screw it up. So now I have to take my key ball. I'm going to have to draw back for the 1, or to run off the rail and get over to the 1. I'm going to need some pretty good angle on it, which I get. This is actually a good place to be. If I make this 1, I get a perfect break shot. I miss the 1, and you'll see I line up a perfect break shot there.